Welcome to The Watcher in the Walls, a tale of terror, where a family's new home turns out to be more than they bargained for. It was supposed to be the perfect getaway, a house in the countryside, far away from the hustle and bustle of the city. For Sarah, Tom, and their daughter Emily, this old house was going to be their sanctuary. They spent the first day unpacking, excited to start a new chapter in their lives. But there was something off about the place, something they couldn't quite put their finger on. As night fell, the silence of the house was broken. Faint scratching sounds echoed from the walls like something or someone was moving inside them. Tom, still convinced it was just the house settling, shrugged it off. But Sarah couldn't shake the feeling that they were not alone. And then Emily, their young daughter, spoke up. "I'm not scared, Mama. My friend in the wall talks to me." A chill ran down Sarah's spine, but she tried to laugh it off. After all, what harm could an imaginary friend do? The next day, Emily's imaginary friend seemed more real than ever. She talked to the wall for hours, her voice soft, almost soothing. But Sarah was starting to feel that something was wrong. Emily wasn't talking to herself. She was talking to someone, or something, on the other side of the wall. "I've talked to him, Mama," Emily said, her voice a bit too calm for comfort. "He's lonely. He lives in the walls." Concerned, Sarah and Tom decided to call in an expert, a plumber who specialized in old homes. When the plumber tore open the walls, they found nothing. No hidden rooms, no gaps, no reason for the sounds. Yet the scratching grew louder that night, and the whispers were different now. They were not from the walls, but from somewhere deeper, darker. It was as if something was trying to communicate with them, something that had been waiting. As the days passed, Emily seemed less like herself. Her eyes became distant, her voice hollow, and then, one night, she spoke in a tone that was not her own. "The man who lives in the walls is very lonely," she said, her voice deep and unnatural. "He wants to know what it feels like to be real." Sarah and Tom were terrified. This was no ordinary imaginary friend. Something was inside their house, something ancient, something powerful, and it had set its sights on Emily. Desperate to leave, the family tried to pack up and escape, but the house had other plans. The walls seemed to stretch forever. The hallway grew longer, the doors and windows disappeared. No matter how far they walked, they could not find the exit. It was as if the house itself was trapping them, locking them in. The walls began to pulse, a low, rhythmic thumping vibrating through the house. Shadows shifted in the corners of their eyes, always out of reach, but closing in. And then Emily turned toward them. Her eyes were black, empty, like twin voids staring into their souls. "I've been waiting for you," she whispered, her voice no longer her own. And then, with a horrific crack, the wall in front of them exploded, revealing a darkness deeper than the night. From that void, something stepped forward, something that had been waiting, watching. Sarah and Tom never made it out. The walls closed in around them, and no one ever saw them again. The house remained empty, but if you listen closely, on a quiet night, you can still hear the faint scratching from within the walls, and if you're unlucky enough, you might hear the whispers too. The man who lives in the walls is still waiting, and he's not alone anymore.